this game ends up going the distance here. Simply the incoming match. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to game number 6 of this best of 7, where these guys are really duking it out, and we might even see a game number 7 here at this rate. Lots of fun going on. It's on King Sejong Station and spawning in the top left-hand corner of this map in the ESport.DK Tournament Final. It is Snovski representing ECV. His opponent spawning in the bottom right corner representing Team Gravity in the meantime. He is up 3 games to 2 and just 1 game away from taking this tournament entirely. Can he do it? It's SpaceMarine. So a lot of incredibly exciting StarCraft between these two Protoss players. Lots of ridiculous aggression. DT plays, Immortal drops. So much fun in this series so far. And have actually won and lost several games. Let's see what happens in this game number 6 here. Just DTs and Immortal drops seem to be the theme. And these guys are just being relentless. This is, by the way, a local tournament, guys. We're here a couple of weeks after the Copenhagen Games. Really just quite enjoying ourselves here. Just watching local talent flourish. Of course, these guys are maybe not quite top drawer GMs just yet, but they're definitely the next batch of players that are going to be coming onto that ladder. So keep an eye out for them. We see Snovski here just going to be scouting around. Just going to make sure there aren't any proxies incoming. We haven't actually seen a single proxy this series yet. So both players seem to be rather content to play straight up. Both gases coming down for both players, so just keep an eye on that gas count to see who's going to be putting how many probes into them. And nothing terribly untoward just yet. On this particular map, there's still a decent amount of area to blink up on, especially coming around the back if we were to go for blink play. But DTs just seem so popular in this particular series that I'm not 100% certain we would anyway. So we're just going to have to wait and see what these players' choices are. I am a big fan of just going blink on this map. There's just so much area for you to blink in and out of. It's really easy to abuse. But these guys haven't favored it so far. So we'll see if they do it here. The scout's not revealing too much at the moment, other than both sides are getting their cybernetic scores. In fact, their builds are completely identical up to this point. And we have the tiniest amount of extra gas for SpaceMarine, but really not too much extra. He will be able to get that mothership core straight away, and that really limits the time, of course, Snovski can spend in this space. He's basically got another 20 in-game seconds before he definitely has to get out or lose the probe. In the meantime, though, this probe from SpaceMarine is basically not going to get into the base until the mothership core is in position and ready. So he might not get to scout anything at all, and I'm a little bit shocked about that, to be perfectly honest, because the mothership core does manage to pick it apart. Nothing gets scouted here. But back home, SpaceMarine is going for the Twilight Council. So are we finally going to see some blink coming out of SpaceMarine here, or are we going to see another Dark Templar play? And what kind of tech is going to be chosen by Snovski here? He's just continuing to chrono boost out actually these Stalkers. He's going to try and get a little bit of early pressure done. There you go. There's the Zealot mothership core, and the Stalker is coming out as well. We have a second Stalker on the way. So this is interesting from him. He's going more towards early pressure rather than any sort of tech by the looks of things. And yes, there is the blink coming out from SpaceMarine. So useful on this map. But he's going to have to hold out with the units he currently has for a while, as Snovski looks like he's going to be mounting a little bit of early pressure. Worker count is 22 all at the moment, so completely dead even, but Snovski just has a little bit more in terms of that army supply. And now, SpaceMarine actually sees it coming as well. Needs to be careful. He basically is one step from losing one of those Stalkers. Really careless there. One more shot actually would pick it off, but unfortunately the pathfinding on the Stalker, yes, he's going to pick it off there. And he needs these gateways, and he needs them very quickly indeed. Warp gate research is just seconds away from completion, though, and he should be okay soon. He's waiting to turn them into warp gates. There we go. And now the Stalker from Snovski is coming in, but alas, it is a little bit too late. There is a Stalker coming in. 2 more are getting warped in now, and he is going to be safe. But behind this, Snovski has taken his natural nexus, and it's basically already complete by the time that SpaceMarine hasn't even started his own yet. So he's got to be a little bit worried. He's sending a probe down now. But wow, is his expansion going to be so much later than his opponents here. Is he going to try and go for a kill move? I don't 100% know. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got the robotics facility in addition to a Twilight Council here, so he's going to put on some pressure with the blink. But this Nexus is alive and healthy, so he needs to pick off a lot of workers, I think, here to sort of make this attack worth it, or make sure this Nexus goes down. We'll find out if he can do that in just a sec. We have Immortal production starting now for Snovski as well, though, so he basically just needs to wait until the Immortal is out. Then he should be able to defend some sort of central position, but look at how much area around the cliff that can be absolutely abused by Blink here. I think that's one of the characteristics of this map that many people have found annoying in the past, and it looks like Snovski is getting a taste of that medicine right now. So these guys, oh, 3 of them will be able to teleport out. Unfortunately, the 4th one missed blinking over there onto the left-hand side, and will have to give up its life. Number of workers 27 to 24, still in favor of Snovski, don't forget, because he's been producing them from his expansion. Are we going to see another base coming out here from SpaceMarine? Not just yet. There is a probe. Okay, so it looks like finally he's going to get this Nexus down so much later than his opponent here. Let's see if it pays off, because a lot of Blink Stalkers are coming in right now, and actually Snovski has to be feeling a bit afraid. We can see the Immortals here as well. The Photon Overcharge has been started, and he needs to be fighting with all of his sentries, all of his Stalkers rather, to be honest, because that Immortal is doing so much damage. He can't afford just to blink some away, and then only fight with a couple of them. You do that, you might as well just concede your army to Snovski at this point. He's going back into the main base, though, for round number 2, and the numbers here in these Stalkers, they're actually quite substantial, so we do actually have to be careful. That is an offensive blink in. He picks off one Immortal. He's going to be able to pick off the second one as well, I believe, but is it going to be enough? These Zealots just doing so much damage on them, and there is the recall out. Unfortunately, just not quite able to get the damage in that he wanted to. His opponent was just ready. Snovski said, no, mate, I've got this. Don't even worry about it. And now he finds himself in a pretty commanding lead. He's currently at 60 supply versus 40. So, I mean, if you're 50% higher supply than your opponent, that's always a good thing, right? And he's still 6 workers ahead as well. So SpaceMarine, even though he's only 1 game from winning the series altogether, if he's able to do that, it might have to be Game 7 if this game continues the way it currently is. More and more Blink Stalkers coming out from SpaceMarine. He's got his natural expansion most of the way done now, but he is lagging behind by 7 workers. Oh, catching some sentries out in the open, though. That should be pretty good. We'll be able to pick at least 2 of them off. That's really nice pickup, actually, for SpaceMarine. Just fantastic job by him. But will Snovski be able to hold this? 18 supply versus 31 supply army says yes, actually. And even though these Stalkers are really maneuverable, really mobile, there just aren't that many of them. And more units are coming out from Snovski to suggest that actually he just comfortably has an army big enough to win this game. 72 to 42 right now. More Immortals being chrono boosted out from Snovski. And I think with the passing of that particular Immortal, we should just about be okay. So SpaceMarine has to think of a different tact here, to be honest. He needs to try and duck in, not engage, and get out. And I think he's going to do that by blinking into the main. So we keep an eye on that, on whether we're moving into sort of this kind of direction here, just comfortably away from the spotlight, where you can duck in, say, kill this number of workers and get the heck out of dodge. Let's see if that's going to happen now. There is the blink into the main base, and wow, there is the Immortal already ready for action. There are the workers being killed, and there is the Sim City. Excellent force field as well to dissuade his Protoss opponent. And, well, he's used his blink too, so this is really difficult for SpaceMarine. In fact, he's basically just losing everything right now. He needs to be able to blink out with this one Stalker. We'll be able to get onto the low ground. But you know what? That's not even much of a consolation here. That guy's just going to get hunted down. Snovski's saying, hang on a second, mate. I don't want you hiding over here. Why don't you go ahead and eat some Immortal? And SpaceMarine says, actually, no, I don't like that very much at all. I'm going to get my butt out of here. So a pretty wise plan. We've got a robotics bay coming down as well, which I'm pretty excited about. So we'll see if Snovski is able to transition into those earlier Colossi as well. Back at home, actually SpaceMarine, he's just mining pretty happily from his natural expansion right now. He's actually up to 42 workers versus 41. But he's been mining for so much less time than his opponent here that I wonder if Snovski has a window for a counterattack. He certainly seems to think so. The robotics facility is done now. This attack isn't going to include any Colossi unless he just wants to kind of stand out in the middle of his map for a while with his army, which I obviously don't think he will. And we've got a 2-stalker hit squad, which also needs to be careful going up there. If you accidentally run into a single immortal and you're not watching for like 5 seconds, you'll be like, hang on a second, didn't I have some stalkers there before? And it's like, yeah, man, but they're basically gone. So keep an eye on that. It looks like Snovski is gearing up for a big attack here. Is he going to be able to break the natural? We will find out. He is at 61 army supply versus 32, so a sizable advantage. A decent number, though, of immortals. And we actually have double immortal production coming out of here from SpaceMarine. So he's pretty serious about getting these robotics units up very, very quickly indeed. These 2 stalkers are just going to run into a couple of zealots here and not be able to do too much damage so far. But we are waiting for this attack here from Snovski. Ooh. And there we go. He scouts. He sees the size of the army. He goes, hang on a second. I think I can take that. So he moves straight in. Excellent time warp, actually, coming out from Snovski there. That's making it so incredibly difficult for SpaceMarine. Is it going to be enough, though? It's 67 versus 38 army supply. We're trying to kill off the Nexus. Yes, the probes are being pulled as well. He recognizes, does SpaceMarine, that he's going to need them if he stands any chance of winning this. But he is down to 73 supply versus 118. Are we going to see a Game 7 here? Snovski really pushing the point home. He's now almost double the supply of his opponent, and SpaceMarine is going to have to tap out very shortly indeed. What an incredible showing from Snovski to force a game number 7 in the ESports.DK tournament. And, well, after being in a position where he's 3-1 up, SpaceMarine must be wondering now what on earth happened. Yes, there's a force preventing him from getting into the main base, but it's 103 supply versus 63. How much can you realistically hold this army back, and for how long? The natural expansion is gone. We have got a warp prism. Oh, meeting an army actually inside the main base as well. So not that great. 29 to 20 workers killed. Still in favor of SpaceMarine this game. But look at this army. I mean, it's 77 supply versus 28. These probes are getting massacred. There's not much at the moment that SpaceMarine can do. And, oh, he's moving out. He needs to be careful. He needs to be able to force field that ramp as well. There's actually no Archon to sort of bust this right now. Let's see if he can do it, though. No, it's not going to be enough. GG, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a game number 7 here at the ESports DK Tournament Final.